Good morning. Good morning. I am Thomas Downey, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the High Desert Center Spiritual Living in our beautiful community of Apple Valley. We'll open our service today with We Are All One, an original song by Chris Ernston, and we're happy to welcome back our choir to join today.
I can feel the love all around here beside me. Feel it in my heart and my soul deep inside me. Resonating deeper and deeper and deeper. Lifting me up higher and higher and higher. You and I are one. We are one. One with everyone. Everyone. Love is all around. All around. Tap into the sound. Right here in the center for spiritual living. You have found a home that is loving and giving. Lots of happy hugs and the smiles on the faces. We don't have a problem with gender or races. Throw your fears away. Love is here to stay. Here to stay. Friendship by the pound. By the pound. Love is all around. You should know the man, Dr. Holmes was the founder. His philosophy, there is none that is sounder. God's in everyone, we are interconnected. Gratitude and fun, don't let fun get neglected. It's no mystery. Thinking is the key. It's the key. Peace and harmony. Change the way you see. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. We are into helping and love and forgiving. You might hear some singing and praying and music. Just to be inside here is so therapeutic. What else can I say? I am here to stay. Home away from home. There's no need to roam. Here there is no need to be stuffy and formal. Things will come around back again, back to normal. Then we'll have a band on the stage and a choir, lifting all our spirits up higher and higher. You know that it's true. Yes, it's true. I can feel it too. Feel it too. What a place to be. Place to be. Come on in and see. In and see. Friendly people here. People here. Troubles disappear. Disappear. Know that we are one. We are one. One with everyone. We are all one. We are one. We are all one. We are all one. We are one. We are all one. We are all one. We are one. We are all one. We are all one. We are one. We are all one. We are all one.
So good to have you back.
That was nice. That was nice.
We'll do it better.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Perfect.
We are an all-inclusive center of love, where we recognize and celebrate each person as a divine and unique expression of the one spirit in all. Together, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone. We teach and embody the science of mind principles to support our core values of love, healing, spiritual growth, oneness, abundance, service, and diversity. Welcome home. Please join me in reading the opening community affirmation. It's in your program on the left side. I believe in one power, one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe that spirit expresses through me and in the unity of all life. I believe that all thought is created, and that how I choose to think creates my personal experience. Is there anyone joining us here for the first time? Thank you for being with us today. If you don't already have a welcome packet, you can pick one out in the sanctuary on the table. It includes a gift for you, so please visit our bookstore after service. That's so nice. Announcements for any upcoming events are in your program each week, along with daily affirmations to use, so please take it home. Our weekly Spiritual Living Circle discussion group meets on Thursday evenings at 6 p.m. on Zoom. All are welcome to join at any time. Sign up at the concierge table to receive the Zoom link. See Brandy Pagano if you have any questions. Tai Chi with Chris Ernston is on Tuesdays in the sanctuary at 11:30 a.m. Following Tai Chi, you are invited to join us in the fellowship hall for games and cards. If you're looking for connection, fun, and laughter with like-minded friends, come join us for a great time together. You are welcome to bring your own lunch if you like. It's a lot of fun. Chair yoga with Joe Carabo is Thursdays at 11:30 in the sanctuary. Drum circle with Janet Ambi is set for Wednesday, April 13th at 7 p.m. in the social hall. All are welcome to attend. The participation fee is $10. Masks are optional. If you have a drum or rattle, please feel free to bring that as well as a yoga mat or blanket. We are excited to be opening up for more activities. Sign-up sheets are available at the concierge table if you're interested in any of these opportunities. Our hospitality committee to plan for refreshments after service and potlucks. A committee to plan the Mother's Day and Father's Day baked good auctions. Decorating committee to spruce up our facility. Also, we'd like to thank Joyce for the flower. Would you like to come up and tell us about your new class?
Good morning, everybody. All folks here, good to see y'all. Nice to be back in person. For those of you out in TV land, full turn. Come join us. We're open for business and we're doing great. We're having a book study class. It'll be on Monday nights, 7 o'clock till 8:30, starting not tomorrow, but the following week. Okay? And it's going to be based on the book Blue Collar Spirituality. And I'm in blue collar today. Here we are. But this is about having a functioning, conscious relationship with Spirit, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. Ernest Holmes used to open up his talks every time. But there is a power in the universe, and you can use it. There's the rub. How you doing? So what we're looking for is to have an in-person class. It will not be on Zoom. And we have 1 or 2 extra books that I'll be able to bring to that class, but please order your books ahead online. And it's okay to read ahead. That's fine. But I'd like you to come and join us, please, for new perspectives on your personal relationship with your supply. A deeper understanding about that supply and your relationship, and making it a consciously active part of your life. This is all to create a better new normal. We'll see you there.
It's the first Sunday of the month, so we want to celebrate all who are having a birthday in April. Anyway. No April birthday.
Oh, we're going to stand up. Happy birthday to you.
Every Sunday we share the vision for our new ministry. We ask you to hold this vision with us throughout the week. The copies are available at the concierge table for you to take home as well. Join me in reading this if you choose. Our purpose is unity. Our vision is to be a dynamic teaching center where we learn to experience the Spirit within us and to express our fullest potential in life. Our new minister is comfortable with shared leadership, accessible to our community, has humor, tact, and is kind. Our new minister is intelligent, a fine teacher of the science of mind, an inspired speaker, and feeds us spiritually. Our new minister lives the science of mind with integrity, has a consciousness of abundance, is authentic and unbiased. Our new minister is enthusiastic while being emotionally mature, committed, and connected to our community, and is wise in all their affairs. Let us welcome our practitioner today, Judy.
I'm no longer tall. Please join me as we read Dr. Holmes' promises together. They're on the front page of your program. I keep the promise that I have made myself to affirm in this moment that I am abundant, healthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to daily speak this truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into songs of joy with the realization of its limitless possibilities. I assure my soul. And let us turn within as Chris shares In the Silence by Jack Fuller.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said. And right here in this holy silence, I find God, I find myself. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments. I hear all that could never be said. And right here in this holy silence, I find God, I find God, I find myself.
Uncle George will now join me and light the flames of faith. We perform the Flames of Faith ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people and all faith, all beings, come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. The unity candle represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the first candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle, acknowledging all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principle. We light the 10th candle for inclusivity, confirming that all are welcomed here. And as Anka lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light names of loved ones, knowing that they have the experience of Spirit's eternal love. And continuing in that presence of all the spiritual awareness of different ways. We bless the many ways to the mountain, to the top, to the path. And we accept the beauty of our journey. We grow with each step and are truly blessed by this experience. I bless this day, this congregation that is present and those that are home, and I hope soon joining us again. We miss each one. Bless each person today in their spiritual growth and their spiritual awareness as they move forward in their life to the wonderful people that they are. I recognize and know the perfection of each one and accept this to be so. And so it is.
Our special music for today is called If I Were Brave by Jana Stanfield. If I believed the wind would fill up my sail, how far would I go? What could I achieve? Trusting the hero in me. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where fools and dreamers dare to tread. I'd never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What if we're all meant to do what we secretly dream? And what would you ask if you knew you could have anything? Like the mighty oak sleeps in the heart of a seed, are there miracles in you and me? If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where fools and dreamers dare to tread. I'd never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? If I refused to listen to the voice of fear, with the voice of courage whisper in my ear. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where fools and dreamers dare to tread. I'd never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave?
It is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker today.
Get closer to the mic.
Thank you very much. Reverend Nicole Robbins earned her Master's of Spiritual Psychology with an emphasis in consciousness, health, and healing from the University of Santa Monica. Shortly after that, she found a home at the Center of Spiritual Living, Granada Hills, where she became a staff minister in the fall of 2020 and serves on the board of trustees. Nicole continues to expand her spirituality. She is inspired to enjoy the preciousness of life based on her extensive personal experiences with death and the tragic aftermath of suicide. She completed the Sacred Art of Living and Dying program. She volunteers for the Freedom to Choose project, which runs workshops for incarcerated individuals, assisting them with self-forgiveness, releasing judgment, and positive communication skills. Reverend Nicole enjoys teaching classes at the center. She runs a very successful tennis academy, and in her free time, she enjoys working out, skiing, and martial arts. Reverend Nicole has been with us in person and also joined us for our Zoom service online. It is a pleasure to have her back with us today. Please join me in welcoming Reverend Nicole.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, everyone, for inviting me back to your center. And thank you, Chris, for completing my talk. Talk is over, so. I guess it would help me. As I was saying, oh, there we go. There's sound, let there be sound. Oh, too loud. So, what would you do if you were brave? Thank you, Chris. That is a great intro into my talk today. The talk is about creativity. And when I think about creativity, it's the April global theme for our centers. And today we're talking about saying yes to the yes. What does that mean? If I was brave and I said yes to that little soul's desire, what would that look like? What does that mean to step into our courage, to step into our bravery, to be creative? Now, when I think of creativity, I love Brandy because she's always so colorful, and I think, wow, Brandy is so creative. And then I think of arts and dancing and music and singing, and your choir was beautiful, and I love that song, and you would not catch me if you're singing. Because I don't feel I'm that creative. But we are creative in everyday life. I'm a creative tennis coach. I'm a creative speaker. I love to color. Give me lines and I can color in the line. That's where my creativity comes from. Martial arts or just being with friends, everyday living, everyday creativity. That's what I want to talk to you about today, is everyday creativity. What is stopping us from living our best life now, being creative with what we're doing here and now? So last month I spoke to you about love, and when Ernest Holmes says, when life created us, it gave us two great endowments of God. The two highest gifts of heaven, love and creativity. And we talk about law and love, where law makes it happen. Law shows us the way and love makes it happen. He goes on to say that love is that we may have confidence in life, a sense of security, and peace and joy in living creativity so that we can really live as persons and express ourselves individually. Life has done well by us. So God was so impressed with himself that he made us to live in his spirit, to live in his energy. And so as we go through life and we get not so brave, we really need to tap into that God inside of us. I was having a moment when I was writing this the other day, laughing that God is up there saying, this light isn't that good. Those animals are not that good. Oh my gosh, look at that galaxy, the Andromeda galaxy over there. That is so much better than my Milky Way galaxy. Can you just imagine God doubting themselves? Do we ever go to that moment of doubt where I'm not good enough, I'm not big enough? That's where we step into our bravery, step into our courage, step into our godness, step into who we really are. And Ernest also says, I think we exist because God exists, because there is an irresistible urge in the being of God to express themselves. We are one with the results of that urge. We exist in that divine feeling, fire, imagination, and creativity shall be experienced through us. That's who we are. It's our godness, our God nature. So I want you to take a moment, and I want you to just go within, go into your heart, and just, if you want to close your eyes, you can do that. how does your life look? How does it feel? How does it taste? Are you where you want to be? Is your health, your relationship, your career, is it going the way you want it to go? So as you feel that sensation, are there changes you feel you need to make? Ernest says, our creative process is our divine right. We are in the laboratory of the divine, and then we shall create. So if we're in our relationships, I have a friend, she's online dating, and she keeps telling me, all these men, they're just losers. Every guy I see online, they're losers. Well, I'm online dating too, and I'm having a great experience. All the guys I meet, well, not all, most of them, let me correct that. Most of them are really nice. I've met some really great guys online. Because what happens? You tell the law it's no good, and what does the law say? Yes. You tell the law, I'm unhealthy, I don't feel well. What does the law say? Yes. You tell the law, oh, I worked so hard. What does the law say? Yes. Or my favorite is, as I'm getting older, my body hurts. It's just an age thing. I guess when you get older, your body falls apart. What does the law say? Yes. So I'm working on that one. I realize that I know that a lot of us have, in the past, we have our genetics. Because my mom was overweight, I'm overweight. Because my favorite's my dad. My dad, every male in my dad's family died at 69. My dad was certain he was going to die at 69. And on his 70th birthday, my male cousins went, whew. Because my dad was the first man in my family to actually live to 70. He actually passed away 3 or 4 years ago at 83. So, hi Dad. My dad was so creative, actually, thinking his birthday would have been in March, just a couple weeks last week. And my dad was so creative, but I didn't realize how creative he was because in my mind he wasn't that spiritual. He just hung out in nature all the time and was skiing. Well, he used to backpack and ski all the time, and in my younger self, I'm like, he just plays all the time. But really, my dad was super creative and super spiritual, but it was a different spirituality from what I deemed appropriate. Now I'm like, wow, Dad, you had it right. You really did have it right. So these are the things that we need to work on as we're in our everyday spirituality. We really need to focus on that fun. And I remember you were reading your promises, and fun was part of it. And then also in your opening affirmation, I believe that all thought is creative, and how I choose to think creates my personal experience. And that is such a really huge thing, is how we think. And in your song, thinking is the key. Thoughts are things. It's really what we put into the universe and how we want it to be. So it's really up to us to create our reality. Now, how are we going to do that when we get stuck in that little spiral? What's going to pull us out? Well, this is where those classes come in. I want to give a shout out to Frank's class because my senior minister, Reverend Michael McMorrow, is the one who actually wrote that book. So I highly recommend it. So being involved in spiritual community, getting out, talking to like-minded people to help lift up our energy, to help raise our vibration. There's meditation. I go into a quiet place. Listen to that small voice. What's that small voice saying inside of us? Like, we know we have all the answers inside of us, but sometimes we just don't want to listen to them. We're like, no, I'm not good enough to do that. Every time I get up here to speak, I'm like, am I good enough? Well, of course I'm good enough. But every time I come up here, there's the little butterflies and the little nervousness, like, what if I don't remember what I'm supposed to say, or what if I just totally flub it? But as I've gotten up here more, I'm like, no, they're going to hear what I'm going to hear, because I asked God to speak through me. So I go, God, if I forget anything, I want you to tell them what I want you to tell them what you want them to hear, what they need to hear at this moment. And so I realized that even though someone looks like the perfect minister, or someone's wearing like t-shirts and on the tennis court, it's the person who you need to hear at the right moment. And my question is, are you listening for that small voice? Because it's the words of wisdom come in small voices. I was having a career challenge at the time. And actually, this is really good for me to share the story again, because I'm at another growing point in my career. And I was driving to work, and I heard this voice say, well, you can always leave here. And I was at the stoplight at Victory and Balboa, and I'm sure that's over in Encino in Los Angeles. And I remember the moment this voice said, well, you can always go back. And I was looking around in my car, like, who's talking to me? Because it was such a loud voice. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I can go back. Well, you can go back to the other place where you taught tennis before. And I'm like, are you crazy? I left there. I couldn't stand it there. I was very unhappy there. Well, I was very unhappy there, and I went to a new place because I figured I'd be much happier over there because, that's a different place. But guess what? Until you heal something, it's going to follow you. And so when we go to a new place, our stuff comes with us. So I had to go back. I had to heal it. And actually, I was at that other place for 9 months. I call it the rebirthing of myself, where I went and I rebirthed myself, and I was able to go back to my former location. And as this voice was telling me, I was arguing with the voice in my heart. What do you mean I can go back? I can't go back. Yes, you can go back. And so I'm sure if someone was sitting next to me at the car, they thought I was in a serious conversation with someone on Bluetooth, because I was going, what do you mean? What do you mean I can go back? And sure enough, I went back, and everything went up to a grander scale. And that was about 5, 6, 7 years ago. And now I'm in another thing where I'm looking for a different opportunity, because where I'm coaching tennis, they say it's closing down in December. And part of me is like looking at the black and white of this question. But part of being creative is not looking at the black and white, it's going to the third option. Because I'm so busy looking at, well, I can leave, I can do this, I can do that. But I need to be open to that third option and not just so focusing on what I think should happen. And this is where we go into meditation and we sit quietly and be still. I really want to get the words be still tattooed on my wrist, but I'm too afraid to get a tattoo. Just because I just think, be still and know that I am. Well, if I know that I am, I don't have to really worry about it. So it's going to that quiet place and really being still and really listening to that seed. There's a seed inside all of us. Does an acorn seed know that it's going to grow up to be this beautiful oak tree? It's just that moment that we have the seed within us, and that sometimes we go to, like, oh, I can't do it. We have these limiting beliefs that what happens if this happens? What happens if that happens? So we start talking ourselves out of this belief. And I know I am so guilty of it. And I found a beautiful quote from Thich Nhat Hanh. Fear keeps us focused on the past or worried about the future. If we can acknowledge our fear, we can realize that right now we are okay. Right now we are still alive and our bodies are working marvelously. Our eyes can still see the beautiful sky. Our ears can still hear the voices of those whom we love. So we can either listen, we can either create consciously or unconsciously. So we can tell ourselves things that we can't do and unconsciously create exactly what we can't do. Or we can create consciously and take an active participation in the co-creation of our life and really, jump in with both feet and know that we are creative. And creative is so many different things in so many different ways. It's funny, they say when you write and talk, there's different sermons that you give. There's the talk you write, there's the talk you give, and then there's the talk that the congregation hears. And when I was driving up here, I was also thinking of, oh, this is such a great topic. I can add that, I can add that, I can add that. And so then there's the talk that the hour and a half drive that you can change creates in your mind. So, like, let me see, what else do I have here? So we really need to embrace our creativity. And so when we go to that fear place, what's another reason we're fear? Well, change. I've worked at this place for 23 years. I've done the same job for 34 years, technically 40 if we add from when I was a junior assistant. I've been teaching tennis, and I'm so solid in it. I know exactly what I'm doing. And I love where I work, but they want to shut it down. So I need to embrace change. And that tends to be a sticking point for people because I don't want to change. I like this. I'm comfortable. Do any of you know about Richard Rohr? Has anyone heard of Richard Rohr? Richard Rohr is an amazing Franciscan, he's a Jesuit. I listened to different topics. He's either a Jesuit or a Franciscan priest. And what's that? Do you know him, Frank? Yeah. He talks about order, disorder, reorder. So right now, I'm comfortable at my job. I love where I work. It's close enough to my house. I love my coworkers. I love my clients. It's orderly. It's comfortable. I'm comfortable there. But sometimes we have to go to that disorder, that uncomfortable place, that dissonance. It doesn't feel so good. I'm not very happy. And sometimes we have to go to that place to get to that reorder, to get to the higher place, to get to that place where now we're really in our true nature, our true path. Who knows, maybe I'll have a beautiful church like this one day that the tennis place had to close because I was so stuck at this tennis, not looking for bigger options, just teaching tennis. So sometimes like a relationship breaks up. I'm sure all of us have had a relationship where you thought, this is the person for me, and then something happens and now you find you're with a much better person. Has that ever happened? I don't recommend online dating. Oh wait, I do recommend online dating. My friend doesn't recommend online dating. So sometimes we have to identify our limiting beliefs, our fears, and let go of all our fears. What is fear an acronym of? Face everything and rise, forget everything and run. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. There's also another word that we can put in there, and I won't do that one. So success is really doing what our heart, soul is telling us, in spite of what the universe what our humanness is telling us. There's this really great story. It was in the notes for the sermon, from home office, and it's a fable about an eagle and a chicken. Have any of you heard this fable? The fable is told about an eagle that fell out of his nest, and a farmer found this eagle on the ground and took him home to be with his chicken ranch. And the eagle grew up around these chickens and was acting like a chicken and playing with the chickens. And then this naturalist came and saw that, he heard about this eagle at a chicken ranch that was behaving like a chicken. And he goes to the farmer, he's like, this is an eagle, it's not meant to be a chicken. And the farmer's like, no, he's a chicken. He's no longer an eagle, he's a chicken. So the naturalist takes the bird and says, hey, picks him up, he's like, you're an eagle, fly, fly. And the eagle looks down and sees his friends and hops back down and says, no, I'm a chicken. So then the naturalist comes back the next day and takes the chicken on top of the farm and says, no, you're an eagle, fly, fly. And the eagle looks down and sees the chicken and he's like, nah, I'm a chicken. So then the naturalist came back the third day, took the eagle, and he said to the farmer, look, I want to try something. And he takes him far away to a mountain where there were no chickens around. And he let him go, and the eagle looked into the sun and spread his wings and flew away. So the question is, are we hanging around with chickens thinking we're a chicken? and not living our heart's desire, our heart's content. So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes again if you want, or just slightly glaze. Now look at your life again. You're an eagle. Are there any places in your life where you're acting like a chicken and you know you can be an eagle? Is there any place in your life where you can drop some limiting beliefs, some barriers, some boundaries? Is there any place in your life where you know that you could soar? William James, one of the fathers of psychology, says, your hopes, dreams, inspirations are legitimate. They are trying to take you airborne above the clouds, above the storm, if you will only let them. So spread your wings and fly like this eagle. Make sure our thoughts aren't limiting us. Make sure we're using our thoughts, using the law of creativity. Creatively. Make sure we're using our thoughts for the positive. Rising above our chicken tendencies, just picking up the ground. Because really, everything is us, everything is ours. All limitations are self-imposed. Whatever is stopping us is our humanness. Are we afraid of being too comfortable, letting go of that comfort and stepping into that discomfort? Well, when we do, we're going to reorder it. We're going to have a new comfortable, a new normal. We're able to really step up and rise. Or maybe, maybe like God said, the Andromeda Galaxy, it's too good. I'm just going to go sit and watch Netflix all day. So we are more than we are. And I was going to use the quote, have you ever seen Ernest Holmes? He's leaning against the table and he's like, there's a power in the universe. Because he used to talk really slowly. There's a power in the universe that you can use. Right? There is this power, there is this amazing energy that we can use to fly, to soar like an eagle. So for all of you, I just really wish for you and know for you, I don't wish for you because I know for you that you're all stepping into your magnificence, you're all stepping into your eagle, spreading your wings and flying. Because Ernest says, life is not just something to be endured, it's to be lived in joy and fullness without limit. You are more than you appear to be. Life is greater than you have ever known it. The best is yet to come. Thank you.
I'd like to do a song by Daniel Maitland. It's called Here Goes Nothing. I'm through asking where I'm going. I've been asking all my life. I've grown tired of all this wondering when everything seems to turn out right. So when my mind needs something to do, wants to know the future, I whisper this, I'm okay. I've always been, and I'll always be that way. So here goes nothing, I'm taking a chance, I'm opening up, knowing that I'm in good hands. And here goes everything, it's all on the line. Oh, but I'm not afraid this time. Some say it's crazy, some say naive, to close my eyes and take the leap. But I know better, 'cause I believe even in the dark my soul can see. So when my mind plays its usual games, oh, my answer is always the same. Here goes nothing, I'm taking a chance. I'm opening up, knowing that I'm in good hands. And here goes everything, it's all on the line. Oh, but I'm not afraid this time. And here goes nothing, I'm taking a chance. I'm opening up, knowing that I'm in good hands. And here goes everything, it's all on the line. Oh, but I'm not afraid this time. No, I'm not afraid this time. I'm okay, I've always been, and I'll always be that way. I'm okay, I've always been, and I'll always be that way.
This is our giving time. Taking a moment to join me in appreciation for this community and our philosophy. We know we live in an abundant universe. There is always more than enough to share and to spare. We use this time to open up the flow of abundance and circulate that energy with gratitude. Because we appreciate you and your contributions, we make it easy for you to give. In addition to placing your offering in the basket today, there are various ways that you can contribute to the center. You can use the Banco app on your smartphone or tablet. You can visit our website to make a donation, www.high-desertcsl.org. Scroll down to the donate button, or drop off a donation throughout the week or by mail. Thank you for supporting our center. And thank you for the ushers today. Please join me in reading aloud our Declaration of Affirmative Giving, located inside your program on the left side. Divine love consecrates my gift.
It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless.
It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me, multiplied abundantly. I invite our ushers to start at the front of the room with the baskets.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
So as we know with blessed hearts that these offerings go through law of circulation, knowing that God is our source and our supply. And with a grateful heart, we support the center that spiritually feeds us to that which spiritually feeds us, knowing that these gifts go and prosper. So with a grateful heart, I say thank you, and so it is.
So it is.
Will the practitioners come to the stage, please? Our practitioner team is here to serve you. The prayer request box is in the garden room under the picture of Ernest Holmes. And our practitioner's phone numbers are on the back side of your program. Please reach out to one of our experienced practitioners for prayer, especially if you're going through a challenge in your life. They are here to know the truth for you and are available after the service for spiritual support if you need prayer. And now I invite Judy to read our affirmation for the day.
I will read it once and then I'll ask you to join me. Today, I choose to focus on love, friendship, and humor. Today, I choose to focus on love, friendship, and humor. Once more. Today, I focus on love, friendship, and humor. And would you please do our benediction?
Sure. All right. So if we all go inside to that special place within our heart, our grateful heart, knowing that today was a divine appointment that we all said yes to. Knowing that as we move forward throughout our day, our week, our life, that we reach the eagle heights, that we soar above, we step into our bravery, and we live each day with love, friendship, and humor. And for this and so much more, I say thank you, and so it is.
So it is.
Thank you.
Thank you to those who have joined us in person and those joining us online today. We'll see you right here in person at the center and on the HDCSL Live on YouTube every Sunday at 10 p.m. Pacific time. AM. Don't come at PM. And now I'd like to give a special thank you to Marina and Max in the sound room. Without you, we wouldn't be able to broadcast our wonderful services the way that we do. Thank you both for all that you do. Today we close our service with Let There Be Peace on Earth. Have a great week.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, united all our everything.